curls. And 1, and 2, and 3. What's up, guys? I wanted to give you my opinion on the Seresto collar controversy that is like all over the internet right now. So stay tuned and we'll talk about it. Okay, so if you guys took the time to read the article, you'll see that basically Seresto collars are responsible for a lot of deaths in the past several years, and also, pretty severe allergic reactions. So first things first, I want to talk about my personal use with Seresto collars and our dogs and our cat. So have I ever used them before? Yes. Several years ago, we unfortunately had a pretty bad flea infestation in our home. It was bad enough that we had carpeting downstairs, and we completely removed all of the carpeting and replaced all of our flooring with laminate floors. It was awful. It seemed to be a year that everybody was dealing with fleas. I want to say this was 2017, I believe, 17 or 18, about 3 years ago. So, I mean, everybody that year was complaining like, oh my gosh, the fleas are so bad. So I think it was just one of those years. The summer was really warm and really humid, and if you've done your research on fleas, you know that that is their ideal environment. So it was a really rough year. So during that time, we purchased Seresto collars for our animals, and they didn't work, actually. I don't know if maybe the flea problem was just too severe. I can't really say. But I had left them on for about a month, and the fleas were just as bad as when we started. So what I actually ended up doing is I purchased a product from our vet called Comfortis. It's an oral pill. It's like a chew tablet, and that completely wiped them out. Do I normally advocate flea and tick medications? Honestly, no. I try to avoid them at all costs, but the problem was severe enough at that time that I had to. So fast forward to actually this past year, our cat was getting, it's called, forgive me if I mispronounce this, it's miliary or miliary dermatitis. It's basically an allergic reaction in a cat's skin where they get small bumps and scabs, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I thought maybe he had a flea problem. Took my flea comb out, I'm combing him, I'm not seeing anything, but I thought, you know what, maybe I'm just not finding it. Maybe I should try to give him a bath. We did that. His skin really wasn't getting better. So I thought, well, maybe I should just, get him a collar. Again, it's not something I do all the time. It's just I couldn't figure out what was going on with the skin. And really, the vet said, well, let's try this. So we had the Seresto collar on him for about a week. And right now I'm going to insert a picture of what his neck looked like 1 week after wearing that collar. Pretty disgusting, right? So that is like one of the worst allergic reactions to that collar that my vet has even ever seen. So that was no joke. And I vowed really that day, okay, like I am done with these flea and tick medicines because this is insane. Like if that collar did that to my cat's skin, what on earth is going on inside of his body, and I don't mean to go into like fear mongering here, but it's something that we need to think about. Not just him, but what's going on with our dogs as well. So what I have learned is if you stay on top of fleas and ticks daily, you can pretty much get away with not needing any medication. And that's really the key. It's daily maintenance. So how do we do that? Every year we take a small, it's like a Scott's seed spreader that you spread grass seed in. And I buy a big bag, it's like a 20-pound bag of diatomaceous earth from our local Tractor Supply. So you can get it at Tractor Supply, or any other kind of feed mill should have diatomaceous earth. And I always purchase the food grade, and that's important. So food grade diatomaceous earth, I fill up the seed spreader, and you wait for a nice, warm, dry day in the spring. You go out and you coat your yard. You just push your seed spreader along and just pile that diatomaceous earth everywhere. I shouldn't say pile. It's, I mean, you do want to coat the ground though. Almost think of like a very light, very light snowfall, kind of like that dusting. That's kind of the amount that you're looking for. I do understand that people with very large yards, this is going to be a little difficult. For us, we can get our entire yard coated twice actually with one 20-pound bag. Our yard is not very big, so just kind of, you know, keep that in mind. You may need a couple bags to get your whole yard done. Leave the diatomaceous earth on your grass and on your yard for a day or two. Of course, you know, the wind's going to blow it around and everything, but you do want to make sure that you pick a warm, dry day, and also that the next 2 to 3 days also look like good weather. You know, don't do it like the day before a rainstorm, because the way diatomaceous earth works is it actually dries out the outer shell of insects and bugs and, you know, things like that. Fungus too, anything like that. So it kills the fleas by basically drying them out. So you want to make sure that you apply it on a day when there's no rain. So that's kind of step one. And usually I do that, like I said, springtime, around April, you know, when the weather's nice. And then once a month throughout flea season, okay? And then we go to the daily aspect of flea maintenance, and that is pretty simple. It involves a flea comb. So flea combs are your best friend. Daily flea combing. It doesn't take that long, I swear to you, unless you have a giant dog, which we now have a St. Bernard, and yeah, this is going to be a pain in the butt, but I'm at the point now, like, seeing the reaction that I saw on our cat Sylvester, like, I'm not willing to put drugs on my animals anymore. So I've made the commitment to flea combing. So with the cat, it takes like 2 to 3 minutes. Just go over his whole body. If you find one, you kill it and you move on. The need for drugs, I really feel, comes from, I mean, I don't want to say laziness, but it's kind of what it is. Like, if you let the problem get to a point where there's really no coming back from it naturally, well then yeah, you're going to need drugs. If you don't ever check your animals, you know, and then 1 or 2 months down the road, they have like 1,000 fleas crawling all over them, yeah, you're probably going to need drugs at that point. But if you do a daily flea combing and you coat your yard in diatomaceous earth, I highly doubt that you're going to need any kind of flea and tick medication. So that's the way around that, okay? It's maintenance. That's what it is. And, you know, in all honesty, like, if you have adopted an animal into your life, it's your responsibility to take care of them to the best of your ability. So, you know, we'll leave it at that. But those are my thoughts on the Seresto collar controversy and how to kind of mitigate those risks naturally. So I hope that helps you guys. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and like it. And if you like the video and you found it helpful, leave me a comment. All right.